Hi everyone, so I'm F.
I am Christine.
I just forget. Okay, figure out your name and then we'll start over. Oh my god, I'm crying. Okay, alright, got it. Okay. Hi everyone, I'm Eva.
I'm Christine.
And we're from PetiteVie, and today we'll be talking about how we both got pregnant.
Not together, but independently
how we got pregnant. Thank you for clarifying
Just
that.
in case there's confusion.
Yeah, so the reason we decided to do this, because I feel like everyone's, I guess, have their own pregnancy story, and mine and hers are
very extreme.
Are very, like,
different.
Polar opposite. It can't be any more different. So, do you want to start?
No, I don't know.
Okay. I guess I can start.
Like, should we start with all the happy and then we get to struggles, or like struggles and then the happy? I don't know. What's better?
Oh, okay. Well, why don't I start then? Okay, so I don't think I've told many people this. That, I mean, I think I have two kids, so both of them, they're both 3 years apart, but both of them took me a good year and a bit to get pregnant. So it took a while, and I think I was complaining to a lot of my friends, especially her. My period just came.
I know, it's like the curse when she sees whatever every month and she's like on time. She's like, it happened.
And I'm such a planner, so like something hit me as soon as I hit 30. I was like 30, I was like, okay, time to have kids. That did not happen. Because it took me a good year and a bit to get pregnant. So, I mean, my first kid when I was 32, so you can kind of see the timeline that it took a while.
You're dating yourself now.
Oh, thank you. So yeah, so, I mean, when I was trying, like, I have all the apps. I have, you know, like, when's the best time to get pregnant? I have, like, you know, testing, like, you know, I'm gonna get very TMI here, but like, you know, like, you like, when you have discharge, then you're like, oh, this means I'm ready. So, like, on that night, I'll be like, husband! Sex time! And that did not turn him on.
I thought you were gonna get into that detail.
well, not the detail how we're doing it, but I mean, the sexual factor of it was not
there.
It was just not there, because I was very much like on a timeline.
I remember you were so... Because she shares every part of her journey. So she's like, okay, this is a time when I need to get pregnant. These 3 days. And I remember I would go to her house and
there's
be
only
like,
3 days to get pregnant.
I know, I would see the husband and be like, hey husband, I'm gonna go home soon. So you better get it working.
Yeah, he was not happy
that other people also knew. Yeah, it was a mission, you know? It's a mission.
I was on a mission to get pregnant.
She was.
For a year.
You got pregnant in a year.
I did got pregnant, so, I mean,
a year is actually very typical, I think, from what I hear.
I don't know, because someone over here was like, oh, am I pregnant? Oh, wait, I am. We'll get to her later. But like, I think I hit like the 9th month mark. I don't even know if I told you. I must have. We went to the doctor to check everything out. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I went to the doctor to check everything out, and then, so what happened? I actually had a block tube,
right?
Yeah, I had a block tube, but so they sent me to somewhere to get it cleared. So it wasn't, I forgot the actual name of it. I'll put it up here when I figure it out, because I completely lost my mind.
It's still here.
It's been like 4 years. I completely forgot the name. It was not painful, and it was like 30 seconds, and then they just they put pressure inside your tubes and they clear it, and then you go back and then you check if the tube was cleared, and then it was actually clear. So I think right after I did that, that's when I got pregnant. So they cleared my tube, and then I got pregnant pretty much like immediately. So
but you were doing a lot of supplements too. Like she was taking everything.
Oh, I was crazy. I'm going to list them all the stuff that I did here.
Yeah, you also rub some oregano oil or something.
No, castor oil.
Castor oil.
So I can do another video of how I got pregnant the long way. This is, I guess, one of the conversation how we got pregnant differently. But yeah, I did castor oil, I did the doctor's appointment, I did the flushing the tube, that's what I think this was called. Flushing the tube, I did supplements, I did like...
You did everything. You were also doing the yoga. You were doing the stretching and the yoga.
And acupuncture.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did remember. I googled everything and I did everything and I was like, why am I not pregnant? Both of them took me a good year and a bit to get pregnant. So that was my frustrating story. Want to hear hers?
But I don't... When you make it like that, it sounds awful.
Well, no, it's not, because I feel, I mean, there's two ends of the spectrum, right? Because one is like, you don't want to tell people how easy it was for you to get pregnant, because people would judge you, be like, wow, it's like, don't even tell me, because like, it took me a while.
Yeah.
But we're much closer, so I mean, there is resentment, but she knows.
Yeah, so my story is a little different. So I got married in April, and 2 months later, I always tell people, it's something we're very proud. Both our children are love children. It was love children. It was made out of love, not for reproduction at all. So with my older child, I didn't find out until I was 3 months pregnant.
She was like traveling, I swear to God.
Oh my God. Like,
were you not in Hong Kong?
No, I didn't even have my honeymoon. So our plan initially was to get married, and then in half a year we go for a honeymoon, and then we'll start trying, and we were assuming it's gonna be 1 year. Because that's typical.
You know what you just reminded me of? I remember when you told me you were pregnant. I remember very clearly when she told me, I do.
Okay.
Because I was trying at that point. We were over at her house for dinner.
I don't remember.
At your old house.
Okay.
At your old house. We were over for dinner, and then I think I was just randomly asking. It's like, oh, you guys gonna be like trying for kids soon? And then they both went silent. And I'm like, okay, like, someone gonna fill me in here? And then very quietly, Christine's like, you gonna tell her? And Vic is like, no, you're gonna tell her? I was like, okay, I think I know.
Yeah, I don't even know how far along I was. But what happened was, because I'm quite lucky. I don't have any morning symptoms or any pregnancy
We'll get to
symptoms.
that.
We'll talk about that a little later. But I had no idea, and because my period is always off, so I'm not like her. Like, she gets it like every...
Mine was regular. Like,
she's regular.
32 days, exact.
So mine is always like all over the place. There are times when like I wouldn't get a period for months.
Yeah.
And doctors actually told me that if I ever want to get pregnant, it will be very hard because I don't know when the period actually comes. Mm-hmm. So long story short,
don't listen to your doctor.
Yes. So a few months in, like no period, I was like, oh, whatever. Like it's normal. That's like throughout my life, it's never like on time. And then so I did have a little bit of symptoms. I was like a little like, I wouldn't say bloated. It's just like,
you thought you were just getting fat.
Yeah, like I was trying to lose weight and I wasn't losing weight. So I was like gaining weight. I was like, story of my life. I'm like, maybe because I'm like 30. So I'm like, and then I feel a little bit like, yeah, just like full, right, all the time. And so I went to the doctor, and then he gave me some Tums. He told me I have some Tums, and then he asked me like, oh, any chance you'll be pregnant? I'm like, probably not. But he's like, oh, when's the last time you had your period? I'm like, I don't know. So I was like, okay, why don't we check? So anyways, I still remember I was driving. I was gonna go get like a Chinese bakery photo bao. And then I got a call from the doctor's office, and they're like, oh, your report came back. I'm like, what report? And I was like, oh, well, the doctor wants to talk to you. And I was like, what is this regarding? And he's like, oh, about your pregnancy. I'm like, what? I also remember I was like on Major Mac in Bayview, and I had to like stop into a plaza and be like, sorry, can you just repeat what you said to me? Yeah, so that was my story. And then with Amber, I still remember Tristan was what, 10 months? Yeah, no, maybe like 9 months old.
I also remember when she told me she was pregnant the second time.
So I remember because I was like doing research and I'm like trying to figure out EI, like how long I have to be back to the
She was still on maternity leave, okay?
I was still on my first mat leave. And I was like, okay, how long do I have to be back to work full time to still get EI for a second one? And I remember like, it wasn't easy. Like having a child does change your life. And I remember talking to Vic and I was like, do we really need a second child? Like before we had kids, we were always like, yeah, we want 2 kids because, they're siblings. And I remember like we were so tired and like things were you know, finally getting back into some sort of routine.
At 10 months, that's when
right?
they're more
And then
routine,
I was like,
yeah.
I really don't think I need a second child. And then same as my husband, he was like, yeah, I don't know, like, do we really need a second child? So we were like, well, you know what? That's kind of selfish. Like, if we have a second child, it's really, you know, there's a companion for Tristan, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're like, oh, I don't know. So we were in this big dilemma sort of mindset, and we're like, you know what? We'll let fate sort of take its course.
And fate took over.
I'm like, we're not gonna do anything to like make it happen. Like, we're not gonna do half anything that she listed.
I was on a mission.
She was, and we're like, but we're not gonna prevent it. And I remember, and then 2 weeks later,
She was pregnant.
I was pregnant, and I was so in tune with my body. I think I even knew the next day because I felt something weird. And I remember telling my husband, I'm like, I feel something weird, like just something happening in my uterus. And he was like, oh my God, like, you know, it's all in your head. I'm like, you know what? If in a month's time,
well, no,
I come back and tell you like I'm pregnant, you know, remember this day.
I do remember because when you told me, you're like, I think I'm pregnant, and it was really early on, and I was like, you can't be, like, you're still on your mat leave.
Yeah.
And then like I think 2 weeks later she came back, and it was like during bubble tea. She was like, I'm pregnant.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, what?
So after 1 month, because you need a month's time to like do the check, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't think I was pregnant. I remember waving at my husband, look, I know exactly which day.
Well, your stomach was rumbling.
So anyways, yeah, that's my story.
Yeah, so I guess for her it was super easy. Both of them very unplanned, and like you said, love
I
child.
wouldn't say it's super easy. It's maybe because I was relaxed because I wasn't trying so
Yeah,
much. I think
so-
stress has something to play with it.
That is very true. So I do want to get into that because on my second one, I was like super stressed out because I was like, oh, I really want to ride to have. I'm a stressful to begin with, so I really want to ride to have a sibling, and then she was like almost turning like 3.
But it's a good gap.
Yeah, it was a good gap. Now that I think back, it is good.
3
So they're
years.
3 years apart. So, but then I was like, oh my gosh, if I should get pregnant, if I don't get pregnant, then she won't have a sibling.
And you're about to give up. I remember you.
And as soon, it's funny because people tell you to relax. As soon as I actually did relax, because I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try one more time. If it doesn't work, then a ride's not gonna sibling.
It wasn't relaxed. It was when she was giving up. It was give up.
My giving up is my relax.
I still remember you were giving up.
And then I think like a week or 2 later, I was like, oh, my period's it's late. That's strange because my period's never late. And then I was texting her. I was like, oh, I think I'm pregnant. And she was like, are you sure? I was like, I think so because it's never
Like,
late.
go get the test now. Now.
So yeah, so for Asher, as soon as I did give up, I got pregnant. So I think stress had a lot to do with it.
Yeah. So
Both of my kids, I was.
So our
generally very stressed
recommendation
out.
is don't be stressed. Just let it happen.
But it's very hard not to get stressed out.
I know.
Because like for me, I was chasing again a timeline. Because for me, I'm a very timeline schedule person. So I think as soon as I turned 30, I was like, oh my god, I'm running out of time.
But I think there's a difference because I feel that you were much more prepared for parenthood than I was.
Was I? I don't know.
I think at least in comparison to me, like you were like thinking about like the nursery, like you were, like she was doing the full on like nesting and like she was like ready for the child.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, like it didn't really click for me after like probably Tristan was a month old before I'm like, oh, I'm a mom. Like I went through all the motion, like I knew I was pregnant and everything, but it just never really clicked. I don't know. She just seemed so much more ready to be a mom.
I don't know, maybe because I have a stone face, like I hide it well, but I don't think so. I think internally I was definitely freaking out. But yeah, I don't know.
I wasn't freaking out, that's the thing. I didn't even do any research. Because I was just not clicking that this is this new bundle of responsibility. As I remember during the hospital tour, and I know it sounds ridiculous, but I remember going through the tour and somehow, you know, they were talking about, okay, after you give birth, okay, we're gonna have this thing, like, you know, this little bed for the baby and they're gonna sleep with you. And I remember, wait a minute, I'm like, you don't take the baby? So I actually get to rest that night? And then so the reason, like, I was like, I just suddenly registered, okay, once I give birth, like, now I have this 24/7, 365 days, like, responsibility with me everywhere I go. Like,
yeah, that never clicked into me. I don't know. I was just like, I'm ready to be a mom. I'm ready. This is it. This is my destiny. And then I didn't have much thought about
the rest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, that was our story.
We have 2 kids each.
Now we have 2 kids each. So that was our story. We'll come back with more stories about our birthing stories. If you guys are interested, let us know. And we would love to talk about that too. But yeah, so that's it for now. Bye.
Bye.